We are here right now with 2012 Olympic bronze medalist and top ranked featherweight Michael Conlan. Michael, are you there?
Yes, Laurie, how's things?
How are you doing today?
What's going on, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Very good.
How excited are you for this fight that you have coming up December 14th?
I'm very excited. It's been a long time coming. It was supposed to happen back in August, but Vladimir was injured, so it's got put back to December. So, I'm excited. Finished my sparring off today and finished on a really high note. So the engines are warm. We're ready to rock, and I'm expecting a big, big performance.
So for our listeners, Michael Conlon will be fighting Vladimir Nikitin, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. You guys have faced off in the 2016 Olympics in Rio. You lost a controversial decision to Nikitin. And to a lot of people who don't know, that was actually your second time fighting with Nikitin, I believe, yes?
Yeah.
So,
indeed, it was, and I've lost both times. So, it's a chance for me to get my redemption. But at the same time, I haven't overlooked this. People may look at the 2016 fight and think that I won, but let's be honest, that when the decision was called out, his hand was raised, so I actually didn't win, and I've got to go in there and prove, to myself and prove to the rest of the world that. What happened in Rio was injustice and the wrong decision, but I've also got to prove to myself that I can beat this guy and I'm better than this guy.
So I have to say, I'm really looking forward to this fight. I actually think this is going to be the fight that's going to steal the show that night, because I feel like there's so much behind this fight. It's been boiling for years, and I know you have a lot to prove that night, and I know you're going to bring a lot of Irish people that night.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? There's a lot of emotion, a lot of tension. There's a lot of things attached to this fight, a lot of history, and it's going to be a battle of attrition. And I believe I want it more. I believe I'm the better fighter, but I got to go in and prove it and show that on the night. And that's what it's all about. The guy that turns up on the night. Vladimir NIKITIN is a well accomplished amateur, achieved an awful lot, like myself. And, he's obviously coming to prove a point that the decision in Rio was, the right decision for him. And, he probably has a lot of ill feeling towards me. But, for me, I'm going to go in and approach it with no emotion. And, as a demolition job, I want to go in and take him out of there. I don't want to leave it to any judges. I want to go in there and take this guy out and look good doing it.
So you're basically saying you're going to try to take him out early?
So I'm not saying that, but I'm saying this, at one stage or another in this fight, Vladimir NIKITIN will know who's in front of him, and he will feel a lot of shots, and I don't think it goes the distance.
Oh, yeah, there's a big difference from the amateurs, fighting 3 rounds, 3 minutes, to fighting 10, 12 rounds, 8-ounce gloves, no headgear, so it's gonna be a great fight.
now let me ask you, Michael, what does this fight in particular mean in creating your legacy?
It just lets me close a chapter on the end of my amateur career and how it finished and that controversial saga. But, I think for me and many people around the world who have been screwed over, whether it be in sport, whether it be in life, everybody has had that feeling of, injustice against them. And the fact that I have a chance, to rewrite a wrong that should never have been written, I think a lot of people can feel that and kind of attach themselves to that because, they have probably been screwed over and never had the chance. So, I believe this is bigger than me. It's bigger than, just this fight. It's about righting wrongs that should never have been written, injustices that should never have happened. And, the fact that I'm going to get to do it, I think it'll be very good for also amateur boxing approaching the Olympic Games. They're seeing someone who was screwed over in the last one, and now the judges from that Games are gone, and hopefully they can have a good Olympic cycle next year.
Well, that's definitely something that you have in common with two other big names in boxing, Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr., because they both were cheated off a decision in the Olympics, and neither of them got a
Yeah.
chance to avenge that loss. You're, for the first time, uh, compared to the three, you're the first one to get that chance to, like you said, to get that closure for the injustice that was done for you in the Olympics.
Yeah, that's it. I'm a bit different than those guys. The fact that I'm getting the chance to do it, and I know if those guys had had the chance, they would have jumped at it as well. So that's why this fight is different. And this is a little bit, more than just a boxing match. It's like history being rewritten, kind of.
Right.
So the fact that I can do it, I have a chance to do it. I'm honored and I'm grateful to Top Rank for making it happen. And I'm just excited, man. I really am. I'm in a really good place mentally, physically. I'm very, very happy and very happy with how preparation has gone because I feel 100% and I'm ready to put on a show.
Well, that's definitely a fight that we're all looking forward to. We're definitely excited to tune into that. But let me bring it back a bit. You mentioned signing with Top Rank.
Yeah.
There's rumors around that before you made a decision to go with Top Rank, that Mayweather had tried adding you to his stable. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, many people got in contact. I was going to Vegas and stuff, and I was invited to the show, but I didn't bother going because I was actually going to Vegas to meet with Top Rank, and I could have went and stuff, but I believe for me, the way Mayweather's fighters and PBC fighters move would not be beneficial for me because I'm an Irish guy, and I'd be probably mainly on the East Coast and maybe and also in Ireland and the UK. So I don't think the demographic of it would have worked out for me, and I just went, listen, it's not for me. I listened to the Top Rank's game plan. I listened to many promoters' game plans about what they would do, and Top Rank come up trumps. They says, was it making your debut on St. Patrick's Day in Madison Square Garden? Using an event in a 6-round fight, and I says, wow, really? Can you actually do that? So the fact that they could do that, I was just like, where's the contract? Let me sign that. Also, listen, I was obviously paid well and stuff too, which is very important. So everything kind of worked out well with him.
Well, you mentioned St. Patrick's Day, so can we say that fans can expect for you to fight at the Garden every St. Patty's weekend?
Yeah, well, it was booked from my debut for 5 years, so we still got another few years before things may change up. But I think I could be there for the foreseeable.
No, I have to say, your debut was probably the craziest debut I've ever seen. I was actually there live.
Yeah.
The crowd, I've never seen that before. You had Conor McGregor there. You had all these Irish people going crazy. And it was like somebody was fighting for a world title in their pro debut. And
I know,
can we expect that same? Can we expect that same atmosphere or even bigger when you fight in on the 14th?
I'm not too sure, as it's a different. It's a big room on the 14th, so obviously there won't be as much. I don't think, and it's not St. Patrick's Day because that's when most Irish people travel to New York. But I expect a good crowd. I don't expect the same kind of crowd as what we get on St. Patrick's Day, as it is close to Christmas and flights and accommodation they try to get to New York from Ireland is very expensive. But and obviously a lot of my followers are just like normal working class people, so it's very hard for people to kind of make all the fights. But I expect a good crowd. I expect it to be rowdy in there, and it's something that I'm excited about.
Now, Michael, you're coming off of a TKO win over Diego Alberto Ruiz in front of 10,000 of your hometown fans in Belfast, August 3rd. How does fighting in Ireland compare to fighting in New York City?
You can't really compare them because, Ireland is my home. But fighting in New York, for me, is also home. It's my home from home. It's where I box most as a professional. And the atmospheres I kind of get are very, very similar. Though the fight I boxed just there in August, which was an outdoor event, 10,000 people, was very, very special to me because I boxed in a park where I actually grew up, and we had a purposely built arena for the fight, and it was sold out. There was actually more than 10,000 people in there, and it was a special night. So it'll be very hard to top that one, but obviously, this one, could be en route to doing it. The St. Patrick's Day fights are unbelievable. The atmosphere is there is unbelievable. The two best places I'm supported anywhere in boxing in the world is New York and Ireland. So, I'm very, very grateful for my fans because they do travel, and I box often, so I'm boxing in different places in different parts of the world, and I still get a lot of fans traveling.
Now, let me ask you. I read somewhere that that you're pretty much a big believer in the law of attraction. Let me ask you, what big fights have you visualized for yourself in your career?
You know what? I've just visualized world titles and plenty of them. I don't visualize any face in particular until that face is my opponent on paper. Obviously I've visualized this one with Vladimir now for a long time because of what happened in Rio, and obviously the fight was due to fight August 3rd, but it didn't happen. So, he's been a familiar face in terms of what's going on, and I'm looking forward to facing him. And that is the only thing which is on my mind right now is December 14th. I love Christmas as well, but Christmas isn't even in my head at the minute. So, it's not even. That's how focused I am on this. And I know I boxed last year around December 22nd, and I actually think my mind wasn't in the right place because I was really focused just on Christmas and not actually the fight. So I don't think I performed as well. But that's all part of the game.
But I gotta ask you because I know you're saying world titles, and one of your stablemates actually just won a world title in the same weight division as you. So I have to ask your thoughts on a potential matchup against Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, fantastic matchup, fantastic fighter who's answered every question which has been put in front of him so far. He's looking great. So if that's a fight which is going to happen next year, I'm ready. If he's the champion, whoever is the champion, whoever has the belts, I'm ready for anything. But as I say, at the minute I'm focused on December 14th, so I can't even take a peek ahead of what's to come.
Totally understand. Well, that's amazing. I mean, is there anything else that you can tell the fans to expect for December 14th, other than a quick win,
a quick knockout?
I want to see a war.
I expect a statement, and that's you could possibly expect a war. You could possibly expect a complete another masterclass in boxing. By just completely outboxing the guy if I want, or I can completely outfight the guy if I want. That's the kind of main film I'm getting with it. I'm ready for anything, but expect excitement. That's what I'll say. It will be exciting. And whether go ahead.
Go ahead.
Whether it lasts 3 rounds or whether it lasts 7 rounds or 10 rounds, whatever, it's going to be exciting.
So after you beat your opponent on the 14th, are you gonna flip him off?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm.
You have to flip off. You got to flip him off. You have to. That's how you got to end it.
That's how you get your closure.
You gotta end it.
That's how you get your closure.
I sign it off. I sign it off with a middle finger, flipped up, and then just get my thumbs up at the same time.
All right.
So
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for calling and taking part of the show this week. We're really excited to watch you fight.
I can't wait. I cannot wait for that fight. You guys are going to steal the show that night.
Thanks, Chris.
Michael, we wish you the best of
Thank you.
luck.
Thank you, bro.
And we hope to have you back on the show sooner rather than later.
Of course. Thanks, guys, and I hope to see you in New York next week. Take care.